Hi guys, I'm Deadly Nighthawk and welcome to my channel. So by clicking on this video, I'm thinking you're probably either considering getting into Final Fantasy XIV or you're already a Sprout. So welcome to the gang. I've got some tips and tricks for you, so stay tuned. These are things that I probably learnt a little bit too late in the game and things that I've been told as I've been playing through. I'm about level 55 at the moment, so I'm still a Sprout too. And I can hear you.
But Deadly Nighthawk, you don't know what you're doing. Why should I listen to you?
And my answer to that is, why have you got that accent? Also, because I have the feeling of shame and embarrassment still fresh in my heart from these mistakes. So I thought it'd be a good time to share them with you guys. And also, if you're not a Sprout or a beginner, then definitely stick around so you can firstly have a good laugh at me, and secondly tell me if you can relate to any of these. So if you do, leave me a little comment down below. I'd be interested to hear if you've had the same experience. I'd also like to say that this is not a comprehensive guide. There are loads of those on YouTube. I'll link a few good ones down below if you want something a bit more comprehensive, but definitely stick around. I've got some things that maybe they will, maybe they won't cover. So first thing is focus on your MSQ or main story quests and your job quests. Now, I won't be the first one to say it, for sure, and I most definitely won't be the last, but trust me, don't get distracted with all those other little side quests. There's hundreds of them. The main thing you want to do is get through A Realm Reborn, because then the game really starts. You also want to do your job quests and definitely keep up to date with those. You unlock a new one every 5 levels, so as soon as you hit that level, go and do it straight away. This will unlock sort of attributes and skills and spells and things like that, so definitely don't fall behind on them. I know I said don't bother with the side quests, but there is an exception. Some of the quests that look like this, they're like a little exclamation mark, they're blue and they've got a plus symbol. And this plus symbol indicates that they unlock some sort of content in the game. Now, you don't need to do all of them, and it can be a bit confusing because there's bloody loads. But I will link a video down below by Zeppler that goes through the ones that you'll probably want to do, like unlocking your Chocobo, which I didn't till I was nearly level 30, and I did the whole game running. I'm not damaged from this at all. Which brings me to travel. So you can travel between aetheryte crystals for a small fee of gil. My advice would be spend the gil. Just spend the money. Spend all the money. They are relatively cheap, and as long as you stay focused on your main story quest, then you will make that money back. I was a bit worried about bankrupting myself, and like I said, I walked. Not advised. Another thing that I realised a little bit too late is the return spell is actually free. So use it. It is your friend. Another little thing that I think people might not tell you is there are 2 ways to travel around. You can use the teleport spell and cycle through the different locations to teleport to, or you can click the crystal on the map. Trust me, that saved me a lot of useless teleports when I learnt that.
So, another little travel pro tip for you here. If you open up your inventory and you find this little envelope here that's called a Vesper Bay ticket, if you use that item, it will teleport you straight to Vesper Bay, which is where the Waking Sands is. And I definitely didn't learn this way too late in the game and spend God knows how many hours upon hours running to Vesper Bay because I didn't unlock my Chocobo, because I didn't do the blue quest, because I'm an idiot. So yeah. Don't do that.
Now, my next point is going to sound really obvious, but as obvious as it is, I didn't do it. So, just a friendly reminder, read your goddamn tooltips, please, for the love of God. I spent way too long using Cure 1 without reading and noticing that I had Cure 2. And it took me a hell of a long time and very many dungeon wipes for me to figure out what I was doing wrong. Trust me, read your tooltips. Take the time, don't feel rushed, just read them. For the love of God, read them. And talking of skills and attributes, did you know that you can customise your HUD? You didn't? Well, you probably should. Trust me, it's a game changer. When you first start, your HUD is like a complete hot mess. So if you go down into the system settings and HUD layout, you can customize pretty much everything to be your exact liking. Everything's kind of personal preference. You just need to play around with it and see what you're comfortable with. It can seem a bit complex and overwhelming at first, but I'll link a couple of really good videos down below that I used when I customized mine, and just have a little play around.
And another little bonus pro tip for you. While you're rearranging things, rather than line everything up manually by hand, because trust me, that's a nightmare, if you hold shift, it will snap to grid and appease your OCD.
And while we're talking settings, I would recommend having a look at changing your movement settings. So you can have either standard or legacy. Now, when you first log in, you'll start with the standard movement settings, which are fine, but if you press the back key, you'll find your character does this weird, awkward little shuffle backwards, and it's kind of slow. And that was getting me caught in so many AoEs. It was ridiculous. And I was like, why the am I getting stuck in these? How can I not move out of the way quicker? And how is everyone else doing it and not dying? So I changed my movement settings to legacy, and you'll see now that if you press the backwards button, your character will flip around and run like hell the opposite way. So highly recommend that. That will save your ass in so many dungeons. Now, when it comes to dungeons, I've got a few words of advice. Eat food. Nobody wants to go into battle hangry, trust me. But seriously though, eat food. If you eat food, you will get a little bit of a bonus with your experience points. And in fact, I would say that not just in dungeons, like in general, eat. Just eat food. Also, before you go wandering in, make sure you check your gear. It's not like I've wandered into a level 47 dungeon with a level 26 cane. I was that guy. I still cry myself to sleep. And finally, when you wander on in there, I'd recommend just saying hi in the party chat and saying that you're new, because then people will know. And generally, everybody in this community are really, really friendly and helpful. I'd say 99% of the community are wonderful, helpful, and forgiving people when it comes to Sprouts. Unlike other MMOs. Not saying any names. So if you're trying to get prepared and you want to get some new gear or maybe buy some food, the marketplace is where you want to be. So head on down to the market board, which you can find in most big cities. And here you can buy pretty much any of the old shite that you need. So, one word of warning, and I've learnt this the hard way. When you buy something like food, make sure you check out the full price. The first price listed is per item. So if you're buying 99 of those items, it's going to cost you a bit more. Just be careful. It's a very easy way to bankrupt yourself. So now you're settling in and you kind of figured out what's going on and you're ploughing through that MSQ. Here's a little bonus tip. If you want to look funky-dory and cool, consider using glamour plates. So you can unlock glamour systems from this very glamorous lady here. She is found in Vesper Bay, and you can unlock this at level 15 with one of those little blue quests with the plus mark that I said about. And she will explain to you about how you can wear your functional attire and you can make it look pretty with that lovely little subligar that you were gifted. So there are two ways that you can do this. You can glamour each item individually, but that's going to cost you a glamour prism and a glamour dispeller if you want to remove it every time. Or you can wander on to your local inn and find the glamour dresser. Now this will cost one glamour prism to put your item in per item, but then you can use it to customize and create all manner of funky outfits. So you'll save a lot of glamour prisms. Trust me. So that's it, guys. That's all my tips and tricks from a sprout to my fellow sprouts. These are all things, like I said, that took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out. Or I was told pretty early on by the wonderful people in my FC, so big shout out to you guys. I don't think I would have figured these out without you, so thank you. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to let me know if you found this helpful, and give it a little like, why not? If you fancy keeping up to date with more Final Fantasy content from a sprout, then be sure to hit subscribe. I plan on making more Final Fantasy XIV videos in the very near future because god damn it, I'm addicted. Or if you made it this far and you're not a sprout, be sure to let me know in the comments down below if you can relate to any of these, because I feel like a lot of you probably can. Or is there maybe something you think I've missed out that's like really important? Let me know. If there's any other videos that you particularly want about Final Fantasy XIV, then do let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to oblige. And I'll see you in Eorzea.